Welcome back. Today I am going to make some jewelry caddies. I was given these ash offcuts several months ago, not knowing what I'd make with them. I am laminating in some walnut strips in even segments. If you have ever tried to clamp a round object, you'll identify the struggle that I did not think about. But I got through it and managed to have a relatively successful glue up. I'm gluing up 3 of these blanks at the same time. The walnut strips are slightly proud of the ash blanks, so I'm just knocking them down with a hand plane to keep things easier to align at each glue up. I made this jig a while back to cut circles on my table saw. These were initially cut on a bandsaw and were pretty rough and uneven on the edges. I believe I cut these at 8-inch circles or so, maybe a little larger. This is a dangerous process that requires a lot of attention. Do this at your own risk. I can show you in another video the sled that I made. I am slowly raising the blade instead of putting all of that shear pressure on the blade at once. I made a quick and dirty jig, like a semicircle, so that I could safely cut these circles in half on my table saw. I have marked these lines for these segmented pieces to go in at 60 degrees. After cutting, it's just a simple rinse and repeat. Glue in strips, clean up, cut again. Off camera, I drilled a 7/8 hole, probably 3/4 of the way through these blanks. I had some walnut dowel I had turned for a previous project with some white oak strips laminated in between. I then glued a 3-inch piece into each of the blanks. One of them was too tight and split. I didn't think it'd be an issue, but you can see that it is. I've got that center dowel in the pin jaws, and I'm turning the back sides to give me a flat reference surface while adding the bevel to the edges and the back bevel for the bowl part to sit on. You can see how uneven it was after all of those glue ups. I will glue a coal block inside of this recess to use in the larger jaws, but I need to level up the edges and give them a bowl shape on the bottom. Here's another angle of the turning process. This camera is mounted on the wall and is poor quality. Also, the date stamp is way off and I don't know how to fix that. I'm using a 1/2-inch bowl gouge to create that recess. I need a lot of work mastering this tool. It wants to grab and pull and just generally mess up the work, and it's kind of scary. Keep in mind, I am completely self-taught on the lathe. There is a bit of gatekeeping on the information. I will do my best to eliminate some of that from what I have learned. I'm using a 3/4 inch skew to create the back bevel for the jaws to sit in because they are tapered, and level out the bottom of this recess. With a 3/4 rough gouge, I am shaping the bottom edge. I will then come back with the skew and smooth out and round over the sides. This is actually a shot after one of them is finished, but I'm adding the brand in the bottom of that recess. I've glued the coal on, and I'm turning it to be true to the established center of the dowel that's in the front. Getting this out proves to be more trouble, and I should have created a better back bevel for the jaws. I'm changing my tool rest out for the smaller one so I can get set up right next to this dowel. And with the rough gouge, I'm hogging out a lot of the material. Once it starts to become a convex shape, I use a parting tool to establish the wall and the depth of the bowl. Here you can see the struggle with the bowl gouge a little better. I believe I might have been spinning too slowly. I'm only running around 900 RPM. It's hard to tell exactly with these old belt drive machines. I have a speed adjustment knob, but it's not rated for this type of machine. This machine is older than I am. I found this new in the box 1983 lathe on Marketplace, and I couldn't pass it up. I'm using a bullnose gouge to come off of the dowel and blend into the bowl. Roughing the dowel taper with the gouge and finishing it with the skew, or with the parting tool, evidently. Again, I am learning as I go. I'm going to use this bullnose gouge to create a deeper concave shape. I think I said convex earlier. Here's another angle of the process on another one. I don't believe I turned two of them the same way. With the skew, I am rounding over the inside lip and smoothing out the transition lines in the bottom of the bowl. There was a little tear out at the base of the stem, so I evened it out with my part-off tool and made a filler piece to terminate the two designs. I tell people a lot that you don't realize how much super glue is involved in high-quality woodwork. Or maybe I'm just a terrible woodworker. I did have a bit excess CA glue run out on the surface, so another light pass, air quotes on light, to clean that up. I am applying some walrus oil furniture butter for after sanding. The oil and wax feature will help protect this in wet environments, like a bathroom. And here are the final reveals. I had a lot of fun making these and stretching my abilities to learn a new technique. This might be basic turning skills for a dedicated wood turner, but it's still exciting for me right now. The ash lined up really well to give a consistent grain pattern, especially since these were all from different boards at some point. The walnut one, I did use a single board for it. I hope you enjoyed this one, and maybe I answered some of your questions and concerns. Thanks for watching. Please consider doing the YouTube things, or find me on Instagram. Until next time.